Hey guys, today we're joined here with undefeated title contender Virgil Ortiz. Virgil, it's great to see you.
Same here.
Obviously, we're dealing with a unusual situation, unfortunate throughout the world with COVID-19. You were one of the fighters that were affected by having your card that was supposed to take place March 28th. It was canceled with just a couple weeks' notice. How devastating was that for you?
Man, I mean, it was pretty. It wasn't like devastating. Like, oh, what am I gonna do? Blah blah blah. Because this is the first time where my fight was canceled, like right before the fight. In fact, when I was supposed to fight in New York, it got canceled the day of weigh-ins, and that I was devastated then. But I'm gonna
That's
I'm
right.
gonna kind of say like I kind of got used to it already. Like, man, but it's whatever. The fight's still gonna happen. We just don't know when yet. Golden Boy hasn't told me anything, but I'm pretty sure we'll be hearing a date anytime soon.
Yeah, because I know Golden Boy's been talking about trying to do fights in Fourth of July and time around there. I was thinking that maybe we would be lucky to see you back in action in July, but you still don't know then.
I haven't heard anything yet, but I mean, hopefully, yeah. If they tell me let's do it, then yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely, we love seeing your fights. You are a true knockout artist. You bring excitement to boxing, and you've made it no secret that you want to win a world title at 147. If we talk about that division, we obviously know that there's Spence with two titles, Crawford, and Pacquiao, of course. But I'll ask you, how far away do you see yourself from any of these fights to actually be able to take place?
It really just depends on these higher guys. Higher guys willing to take the risk of fighting someone like me because I only have 15 fights, and they see it as like I'm just a little kid, that I'm not worth their time or whatever, and it's a high risk, low reward for them. So I don't think that they would be willing to take that risk. So I think it's gonna take a little bit of time. I have to kind of build myself up a little bit more. I think with 20 fights, I'll start to look more how do you say, like, credible, recognizable, even though I feel like I am now. I do feel like I'm ready for these fights at this moment. But it's really up to those guys. I might have to force like a mandatory or something. But either
Yeah.
way, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. But one of those guys in ERROL Spence, you've kind of we've had some words. We've been seeing a lot of social media beef going on. I don't know if these guys are just tired of being in quarantine and they're getting tired of just being trapped and they're letting their anger out through social
Mm.
media, or I don't know. Maybe you can tell me what a fighter feels. But I mean, we saw you exchange words with ERROL Spence not too long ago. Can you tell me a little bit more about how that evolved?
Well, I mean, basically, I mean, even now, I'm cool with Arrow. It's whatever. Sometimes you just gotta let someone know that you're not a pushover. That's all that was. But he had an interview and he said some stuff that was kind of unnecessary. It wasn't like too bad, or he said something like really bad, but it's just something I just can't let go, something that slide that easy. So I just had to say something back, but that's all that was.
Yeah. Does when talk back, or when you have a conversation like that, does that give you more energy or motivation to when you
Oh yeah,
actually do face them?
yeah. It gives me a motivation. Makes me like, oh yeah, that's what you think, right? So it kind of makes me want to, like, it gets me pumped up, a little hyped up. But yeah, that's all that is. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We would love to see, like I mentioned, the champions earlier. We would love to see you face any of them. We know that within Golden Boy, many consider you the young crown jewel of that promotional company. What advice have you recently gotten from Oscar De La Hoya?
He just tells me to stay ready, stay humble, and all that stuff. And it means a lot coming from him. He really wants to see me make it. He believes in me, and that motivates me even more.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to training, you've obviously had training with in the past with Joel Diaz, and you're currently with Robert Garcia. What is it like to be able to work with these world class trainers?
It really rubs off on you. These guys have seen, like, seen the goals that I want to achieve. You know, they've had fighters that have had world championship titles before, and you know, especially Robert Garcia. You know, he's had like I don't know how many, I can't even count, maybe like 12 or 13. So he knows exactly what it takes to get to that level. And it's I'm thankful to have him by my side because you know he's a very experienced coach. You know, he's been in the ring as well. You know, there's not a lot of coaches out there that have actual experience inside the ring, so he knows what's going on. He knows what we go through, and yeah.
Yeah. Someone that I actually just talked to minutes ago is someone that, you know, from, he used to just recently be with training with Robert Garcia. I'm talking about Abner Mares. He's currently in a social media beef with Ryan Garcia. Ryan is going back at it with him and with Jorge
Mm.
Linares. Do you, are you entertained by all this social media beef? Do you keep up with it?
I see it on my feed sometimes. I don't go too deep into detail about it because I mean at the same time it's not none of my business, you know, especially since it's not my weight class. So I kind of do my best to try to not get involved, or I mean even just to like get into it. You know, I just you know they're doing their thing. They're lower weight class than me. I don't feel like I have to worry about it. If there's some stuff going on in 47, then yeah, I'm gonna be looking.
Wait until that hits your division, then you're on it.
Yeah.
Well, they're definitely back and forth, but we'll see. I think it's just fighters are so, I could only imagine, fed up with, you know, wanting to fight. How do you feel um, being just at home and waiting out to see what is happening to boxing? How does that make you feel?
I mean, honestly, not even just that, just you know, not training at sometimes feeling like you're training just to stay ready. It kind of makes you feel like, man, like fuck, am I gonna fight soon? Like, you know, we want this to be over really quick, and you know, the energy that we put into boxing and we're about to fight, that energy is staying inside us, so it's kind of just building up, and you know, over time, it has nowhere else to go. So you know, maybe that's why you mentioned it earlier. Maybe that's why you're seeing a lot of you know social media beats going on, and I mean, I don't know. It's just we're doing our best. You know, we're trying our best to cope with it. So I mean, we really need this to change real soon.
Yeah, absolutely. What are do you have a fight that, you know, that you were looking forward, besides your own of course, but
Hmm.
were you looking forward to seeing a fight that was canceled and now we're waiting to see if it'll actually happen or not?
Jose Ramirez and Posto. That was gonna be a badass fight. I was really looking forward to that one. Canelo was gonna fight Billy Joe Sanders, I
Yeah.
think, in
Yeah.
May. I don't know. It's Cinco de Mayo weekend.
It
I'm
was
not
the
sure
Cinco
what
de
the
Mayo
actual
weekend.
date was.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was gonna be an awesome fight. I was actually looking forward to that one too. I don't know if Teofimo Lomachenko was still gonna happen or not, but that was a potential one in the summer that I was looking forward to.
Yeah. So I'll ask you. So Canelo, now there's I mean there's different talks. There's talks about him doing the trilogy as well with Gennady
Mhm.
Golovkin. Would you be interested in seeing that third fight between them?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I know Canelo's gonna beat him. You know, he could even potentially stop him. He Triple G just isn't. Uh, I mean, he was a monster, but fighting lower guys, he wasn't able to look like a monster against Canelo, and you know, Canelo proved that he's you know, the better boxer, and he's, in my opinion, I think Canelo beat him twice. The draw, you know, it was I was kind of leaning towards Canelo a little bit, and the second fight, I really thought he beat him. So I don't see the point of having a third fight, but you know, it's Canelo's choice at this point for me. If he feels like Triple G deserves another shot, or not even deserves another shot, if he wants to beat him again, then go for it. But at this, I don't think he needs to. I don't think he needs that fight.
All right. Now the other fight that you mentioned was between Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. Do you see that fight as a 50-50?
I would give the edge to Lomachenko because you know, he has the experience. He does have the skills, but I think Teofimo is stronger than him. He's very explosive, so you know, he can, at a moment's notice, he can just explode with the punch and catch Lomachenko off guard. So I wouldn't give it a 50-50. I would give it to Lomachenko, but I'm not counting Teofimo out at all. Like I think he can beat him. I honestly think he can.
All right. And of course, there was also in July, we were expecting to see the trilogy between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Now, they're saying perhaps in October. We'll see. But would you prefer to see that third fight between them? Or would you prefer to see the UK undisputed fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua?
I would rather see the Joshua fight. I just the Wilder fight doesn't really interest me. It never did. I just I don't know, the two styles didn't really mesh up for me that well. Even the second fight was okay to me. Even though he stopped him, I think it wasn't as entertaining as I thought it was going to be. But I think that just the level, like when you're in the same room with someone that's like the big time guy and you can feel it. That's how I feel like the Joshua and the Tyson Fury fight feels like. Like you can just feel it. Like damn, this is a big deal. So I think that's the fight that has to happen if anything.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling for that fight. So we'll see. Honestly, we'll see what happens. And there's another fight in your division that people have been calling for, but obviously for a lot of political reasons, it's hard to make. We'll see if it ever comes true between Crawford and Spence. If that fight
Yeah,
happens, is that a 50-50 fight for you?
that one is. I'm gonna lean a little bit towards Spence. I'm gonna say 60-40
Okay.
because Spence does have the power to catch Crawford. I mean, if he does catch Crawford, I think he's gonna put him down. He's gonna hurt him. And Crawford, Crawford, he's very technically skilled. I think he's probably the most skilled technical fighter in all of boxing. So, I mean, I don't know. And they're both southpaws, so that advantage that they have, it kind of cancels out right there. So at this point, it's just who makes the smarter moves, or even who's just stronger.
Yeah.
So whoever plays the right cards, and that's what it comes down to. But that would be a good fight.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot about Hooker and Regis. That was gonna be a badass fight too.
Yes, yeah, I had everything ready to go over there. And I
Hmm.
mean, I was ready to go to many fights, but I was really looking forward to that. Even though it was not a title fight, it was going to be
Yeah,
a great action-packed fight. And hopefully,
yeah, it
they said
was.
they're going to do it maybe this fall. So hopefully, we get to catch it.
Hopefully, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they're
yeah,
all postponed at this point, so
yeah.
we're just waiting for dates.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, boxing needs to come back, obviously safely when it's safe to do so. But we
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you back inside the ring really, really soon. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, Virgil. Wish you nothing but the best, lots of luck and health, and can't wait to see you in the ring.
All right. Thank you. Nice
Thank
talking
you.
to you.
Same here. Take care. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Bye.
Bye.